Welcome in, all you O-Niners, PCHers, junior private detectives, Hearst College whatevers, runaway sons, and Sheriff Keith Mars to Life on Mars, the Veronica Mars Rewatch podcast where we go through episode by episode. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Emily.
And we're here to talk about Mars bars because she's in jail.
Yes. Also,
How long? Sorry.
for all you out there who also have peanut allergies, don't give yourself an anaphylactic shock to get out of jail.
No, that's way risky.
Well, and you have to get treated and make sure that you're stable before you leave. So how did he overthrow? I'm confused because I'm like, no, when I have an allergic reaction, I hive. There's hives. I'm really easy to identify. I'm hives. My throats are closing. Yeah. My throats, all of them. All my throats.
You have multiple.
And I can't breathe usually. And then also, even if they stab you with an EpiPen, they still have to watch you. Usually you have to take more.
No, I imagined a scene from Crank where they fucking hit him with the defibrillators and he just it turns into action movie where he's throwing people up against the side of the ambulance and literally breaks through the door on the ambulance. But I don't think that's how it went.
He's not very big.
No, and I think somehow they just left the door open, or it's just okay, good, he's stable, turn away, and then he's I'm gonna run. But even then,
he overpowered the ambulance person. Right. That was a statement.
Okay, so back to my original theory of action movie, and he rips off the door on his way out. But
the sheriff, whoever the ride-along sheriff, was in the front of the ambulance.
Right. Sachs. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few leaps of logic in this episode, but overall I found it very fun.
I don't think people understand that peanut allergies are usually deadly.
No, that's not how that works.
Not everyone dies, and the few times I've eaten peanuts, I did not die.
That's
But that's not
such an insane way of getting out of jail.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
It's like the Russian roulette version of getting out of jail.
It's the played straight version of Job getting stabbed in Arrested Development to escape prison.
Yeah.
But even then, he goes to a hospital and has to stay in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah. So do you want to start off with us being introduced to this concept?
Yeah. So we start with Veronica.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just stepped on it. It's all right. Keep going. I had a thought come into my head, but it's Brendan, remember before the podcast how you were going to bring up this production note later?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. So we start with Veronica being interviewed by Lamb, because if you don't remember, at the end of the last episode, she was arrested during her criminology class because Lamb is a lover of theatrics. You know what? He gets her schedule and he's like, you
exactly.
know what? Bio, not fun to pick someone up in. We'd have to wear gloves and stuff, and it's a lab. And I assume she's taking anthropology or something. Mm-hmm. And it's that's not exciting. And then it's but criminology. Let's get a criminal in criminology.
Exactly. He's but Sachs, the irony of getting her in criminology.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So they pick her up. She's at the station, and Lamb's where'd Josh go? Where'd your man go? And she's like, why the fuck would I know? And he's like, you aided him in getting out of jail. And she's like, I brought him books and cookies. And he's like, and he's allergic to peanut butter. And you're like, and I'm like, there's an EpiPen recall. Does he know about this?
Pretty much. Beautiful time of 2008.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. And Veronica's like, I didn't know that. And then
sounds like he went out in a casket.
Yeah.
2007, sorry.
And she's like, but I get my phone call, so she goes to call her dad. And then we go over to Keith. Keith is with the wife of the coach / mom of the runaway.
The Berries.
Mama
Mrs.
Berry.
Coach or Mrs. Berry, depending on which line of my notes you're looking at.
I put wife / mom.
Wife / mom, yeah.
He gets a call from Veronica in jail, and he's like, oh, okay, honey, whatever, I'll come help. And he sees an envelope in the Berry's mail, pile by the door, that was a bill from Vinny.
Oh yeah. He's not excited to see it?
Mm-mm.
we, on the other side of the table, are very excited to see it.
Yeah, because we love Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica's in jail doing push-ups with a drawn-on tattoo when her dad gets there because she is the only person being held in her cell.
Yeah.
Because I am sure they've
just got like a drunk tank, and they've got like 2 separate cells probably.
Yeah, they've got like a men's cell and a women's cell, except
right.
I think they use the same cell for every scene.
Uh-huh.
But in theory.
Right. I'm assuming all they have are men.
And so Veronica is doing her push-ups, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, yeah, Josh took advantage of my kindness." And he's like, first person I've heard of that's successfully done that.
Yeah, he also is this the scene where he also has the line like, "I thought I would find this more traumatizing."
Yes, when she's standing in the cell, and he's like, "I thought I would find this more traumatizing." And Veronica, he's like, "Okay, I'll work on this, whatever. We'll figure out how to get you out and try to find Josh." But like, obviously, like, Lamb can't hold you for very long because he doesn't have any evidence.
Right. He gets to hold you for 24 hours.
Yeah, because it's not like she broke the law bringing him cookies. It's just that Lamb prefers to steal the cookies.
Exactly. And is trying to find a way to hold her longer.
As he's leaving, Keith sees Vinny.
Wait,
Cliff came in.
Yeah.
And Cliff was like, "Hey, just in case anyone was curious, I don't think the boy did it."
Mm-hmm.
I've done a couple cases like this, and this is kind of my job, and I know you don't care about my opinion, but
right, like I have a good feeling about this one. I deal with a lot of people that lie.
Yes.
And also Cliff mentions that the guy who was his bunkmate, because they can't use him as a witness
because he was drunk.
Yeah, he blew like a .2 or something.
He was drunk, and he had eaten the rest of the evidence.
Yeah. Yep, eaten the evidence.
So then Keith is leaving, and Vinny Van Lowe is in the front desk trying to talk to the deputy or whoever. And Keith's like, "Hey, are we working the same case?" And Vinny's like, "I can't share client details." "Just kidding. I'm an awful human being." He's like, "Nah, she hired...
Great shoe job.
Mama Barry hired me to see if Coach Barry was cheating. I didn't get the money shot, but here, I got these photos. Like, I'm happy to give them to you." The
stars aligned, and Neptune, everybody in Neptune all over, is wondering if their spouses are cheating, and instead of having a talk, hires a private
What is it with this town? Like, how many people do you think actually hire private investigators to find out if their significant other is cheating?
God, it's got to be very low. But also,
my mom just went and found my dad. She didn't need an investigator. She investigated herself.
Hey, same here. But this has been just this entire season. It's like every other person that is hiring the private eye that we know is looking if someone's cheating. This
is a very unhealthy relationship kind of town. Everyone's got unhealthy, like Veronica and Logan, unhealthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. The only healthy relationship we've seen is Mac and her cute boy.
Yes. Who I'm gonna double check his name right now, but I need to remember.
I didn't write it down.
Yeah. Bronson. Yeah. Why would I remember that? Bronson Pope.
No. But yeah, so the whole town is just sus, and everyone's sus about each other, and I'm just like, maybe we should all pick people that we trust to marry.
This is what happens when you have too much money too.
I know. Yeah, what do you get? Like, there's no point in like staying with someone if they're poor, because you don't get anything if you divorce them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. So then Keith gets a little conversation to have with the dean's secretary.
And the button on the Vinny thing is he does have a picture of the Keith coach meeting up with someone.
Yes, he just doesn't have the money shot.
Yeah.
And he tells Keith he'll give them to him.
Mm-hmm.
Keith goes to meet up with the secretary of Dean Ling because Dean's wife, Mindy, may have said, "You're off the case." But Keith said, "I loved the dean because he was nice to my daughter at once." He wrote one nice letter about her. He tried to kick her out of the school at first. Are we just glossing over that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That is water way under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
It's already been swept out to sea.
People have done so much to Veronica.
Yeah.
And
the bar is so low to clear.
What do you the first person that took advantage of her kindness. Like, I feel like half the town is taking advantage of her kindness. I think she should be a lot more hard-boiled than she is.
The things you don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, no. Logan should probably just be like 6 feet under out to sea, and like, God knows, like Duncan's just fucking having a party in Australia and Mexico or whatever.
Hey, he's starting a family.
He already has the family. What is he starting?
He's continuing. He's cultivating the family.
Oh, do you think he found someone else?
I mean, he's caring for his child.
Oh, yeah, that is a family.
Yeah,
it sounded like you were adding to it.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with a word for it.
Okay. I was just making sure he's fostering.
I was workshopping it. Yeah.
Okay.
Fostering.
But
yeah, it's like, have you threatened my daughter? No. Have you assaulted my daughter? No. All right, you're good in my book.
But he did threaten her.
I mean, like, again, water under the bridge.
I can't. And the secretary is like, Mel Stoltz showed up without an appointment, and the dean was out of Xanax. And I'm like, what fun details to have. What personal, aid of a secretary refills your prescriptions? That's a personal assistant job.
It is.
There's no way at a school they're like, you know what? Yeah, refill my Xanax. It's a controlled substance. Like, I doubt she could call to, I don't know.
Yeah, she shouldn't be.
I don't know.
But yet she was.
So then Keith is like, oh, did he pick up the Xanax? And she was like, he was out, but no, because the pharmacy closed at 7 and he didn't leave before 7.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith is like, because I found Xanax in his system, so that's suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Landry, he walks in. Keith is back at home now. He's at the office, his home away from home. Exactly. Mars Investigations.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, did Veronica bug my phone? And he hands him a bug that was on his phone, like a chip, not a real bug.
Yeah.
A roly-poly.
Yep. I found this fly on my phone.
And Keith's like, I didn't, and neither did Veronica. And Landry's like, are you sure? Because she takes initiative, blah, 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 and she should be doing better than working at this dumped, I don't know, bad investigations you got going on. And I'm like, you know what? Kick him in the shin.
He's out of line.
He's out of line, and that's rude. He's like, your daughter's smart, and she deserves better than you.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
You about to catch these hands.
Nice. Get him. But
just kidding. I'm nonviolent.
He's out of line with attacking Keith, but I can see why he'd come to the conclusion of Veronica bugging his phone. We don't get an answer to who bugged his phone, right?
I don't know. I don't even know if someone did bug his phone. I don't know if he's pretending that someone bugged his phone.
Yeah,
because then what's really suspicious is next he lies to Keith about his alibi. Mm-hmm. He says that it was only him and Mindy. And we saw the dean talk to them.
Yes. Our characters didn't, but we did.
We did. Yes, exactly. We know something they don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a word for that, and I can't remember what it is that you learn about in when you study English.
Oh yeah, what that means.
Yeah, there's like a term, where the audience knows, but in plays, like the audience knows, but the characters don't. It's okay, it's fine. It'll come to me at one point.
Okay.
I spent a lot of money getting a degree where I'm sure I wrote multiple papers using this word, so it's back there.
Okay.
Keith is like, sus, and then he finds out. You know who picked up the Dean Xanax prescription?
Do you want to know what it's called?
Yes.
Dramatic irony.
Thank you. Mindy picked up the Dean's Xanax prescription.
Isn't that interesting?
His wife signed for it. Keith goes to the jail, visit Veronica, tells her about Landry. He's like, did you bug his phone? And Veronica's like, no, I did not bug his phone. And Keith is like, well, he's saying you need a better mentor, but who's your daddy, basically. Veronica will stick with the old man she's got.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty great.
We love Keith.
Hey, also, Landry, he's an award-winning bookseller. I don't know if he's award-winning. He was on New York Times bestseller list. And he also busted and saved his daughter's life. So, a little respect.
Yeah, respect.
Uh-huh.
Back the fuck up.
We don't talk about his sheriff record, only his PI record.
And then, he had a good sheriff record up until that thing, which actually then he was right about. So it was just he got fired because he was right.
Yeah, guess so.
Oh no.
But that's the only thing we know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we know that
I'm sure the sheriff station
before that.
Exactly, sheriff station might have been run well, but like still, like, what does that mean in Neptune? It's a little nebulous.
Yeah, true. Logan shows up at the jail, sees Keith on his way in. He's like, "Hi, Mr. Mars," and it's awkward, and we're like, "Cool." Logan walks up. He's like, "Do you need anything?" And then he takes a picture of Veronica in jail, and I was like, "Why?"
Yeah, they act very chummy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, on both of their parts.
Why did he come?
One other question on that. Who told him? How does he know?
How does he know?
Maybe
he has a police scanner.
That's what I was wondering. So I was like, I have multiple options, but I was thinking this over. Police scanner. Someone, he's keeping tabs on Veronica.
That's true. That's a fact. He's a stalker.
Yeah. 3, someone in her group is ratting
to Logan.
But
who?
Exactly. Do any of her friends know? It doesn't seem like it.
It does, because remember she has...
Wallace comes.
Well, and she has him take something to Mac for her, and Mac knows that Veronica's in jail.
Right.
Because Veronica's not going to be there for the thing they were going to do.
Yeah. Is Mac going to talk to Logan? Is Mac talking to Logan?
I don't know.
How does he know? I think number 2 is the most obvious, but like the fact that neither Keith or Veronica are concerned that he shows up should be a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah. Well, and then he shows up, but doesn't just why? Where? Veronica, I know this is a weird time, and I'm really, really sorry I fucked up. Like that's all he needed to say.
No, he has to come down when she's in lockup, in jail for aiding and abetting a prisoner, a suspected murderer from escaping. He has to come down and say, "Look, I'm so well adjusted."
Look at me, well-adjusted Logan, just like well-adjusted Duncan.
Hey, I came all the way down to the jail when you're like having a really rough go of it to tell you that I'm over it.
You know what? I'm like, it's yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? I'm so fine. Like,
yeah, look at how good we are. Look at this. We have our...
and look how you can't do anything and you can't get mad and you can't go. You're literally caged.
Literally stuck. Oh, it's bananas. And the show doesn't know that. It's like, oh, look at this fun thing. They're okay. They found a way to exist with each other, but she's in jail and we have no reason for him being here.
Yes. Well, and it's like, you're going to be real cordial to people when you're in jail.
Yeah.
You know how different I would act to someone if they visit me in jail versus if they visit me at my house?
Right. I bet Veronica, a few days out from being in jail, is just going to be sitting in bed, going to be going to bed, thinking about stuff. And it's like, how the fuck did Logan know?
Yeah.
And look out her window all scared.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, if he still loves her, then the rest of this episode makes no sense.
No.
And he does still love her.
Yeah, but he does. Actually, so I still think it aligns.
Uh-huh.
Because if he still loves her, right, but he's doing the thing where he's like, I'm going to pretend like we're not. And that's what he's doing at the sheriff's station. But what are you doing there, bud?
He showed up. This is like every single guy that like I dated or like didn't date but dated that were like, we're not dating, but like go on dates with me.
Right.
It's like, no, what are we then? And then they get mad because you're like, what are we? And then they're like, well, it's just casual. And I'm like, then why are you buying me so much food? Why do you want to spend time alone in romantic settings with me in public, not even in private, and then we're not dating? What are you doing?
I didn't want to say this in front of your family. I don't think they're feeding you enough. And I'm concerned for your well-being. No one else in your life is doing this.
No one's... Yeah, someone looked at me in high school and was like malnourished.
Oh boy. Yeah, no,
it's just it makes me think like, or like, yeah, there's so many. I think about like the things that guys did going out of their way to hang out with me, either like in high school or college, like either we weren't dating and we weren't going to date, or after we dated. And I'm like, what exactly? What? Like, no wonder I was fucking confused. What signal are you putting out?
That's exactly what he's doing in this episode.
I'm like, yeah, it made me so angry, but like in like the righteous anger way, where you're just like, what the fuck?
What the hell are you doing, dude?
Yeah, like, you don't drive down to the police station or 4 hours or whatever your equivalent of this may be to see someone, to hang out with them, to then still not date them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's baffling.
It's extremely baffling.
It's baffling.
Hey, we're friends now. What?
No. Yeah.
Veronica, put your foot down.
Also, you can't be friends with people that you dated in Neptune.
No.
Maybe, maybe I have friends that can be friends with people they dated.
Totally. But this isn't friendship.
Yeah, this is two people who still want to be together, but can't fucking do it because no one will put them in therapy in this show.
We talk to each other. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, this was a brain-breaking scene.
Well, and it's like, but this is how guys at that time acted.
Yes.
And that's what I'm like, why did we encourage, like, who? What back? They say women are confusing. Men don't make any fucking sense. What are you doing?
Okay, what should I do today?
You know what? I should go on a date with the girl that I said I won't date. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
I should go to the police station to see my ex.
Yeah, I should go see her.
You know what? I bet she's real lonely in there in lockup, even though she's got her dad. She knows all the sheriffs and and she's got a lawyer.
The bug I planted on my ex says she's at the sheriff's station. Better go see her.
Right? It's a fucking psycho. I can't anymore. Yeah. You know what? Fuck this. And this is what's wrong with everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of anger inside.
No, yeah, it's good.
Why? If you are a man and you don't want to date someone, or you dated someone, or you, quote, can't date them anymore because you'd rather have some pain now than a lot of pain later, or whatever bullshit you tell yourself, then you have to make a clean break and you have to leave them the fuck alone.
What are you still doing in her life?
Yeah, go away.
Hey, we're still friends. And also, like, later, it's not like he's friends with any of these people.
Yeah.
That's not his friend group.
It is infuriating. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get a whole lot more angry in like a few minutes. Okay, so Logan's gonna be her mule to take whatever to Mac. It's like some hard drive or something. Mindy is brought in by Sheriff Lamb to be investigated because of the times on when allegedly he died, the dean died, and when the car was out of the thing.
Not yet.
Oh, what happens then?
So she's brought in for the Xanax.
Oh, okay. So, because she picked up the prescription.
Yes.
And she's like, I took some of them, so yeah, there will be less because my husband's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's,
fair. Yeah, fair.
But also illegal.
Yes.
I wouldn't admit that. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to see.
I mean, she'd rather fall on that sword, you know?
You'd want your lawyer present for that
That's
conversation.
True. Mm-hmm.
They also then asked to see Odell's old computer. So Weevil takes Sax down to the storage area by the furnace or whatever to see.
Yeah, the deepest part of
the school. It made me think of in Community when they send Troy to air conditioner repair school and it's like under the school.
Yeah.
It's like an elite thing. It was like the real version of that.
Yeah, the secret janitor school.
Yep. Logan then drops off the card thing from the computer for Mac.
Yeah. Wireless cards. Man, remember.
And then they're like, hey, we were going to do the scavenger hunt thing. Obviously, we don't have Veronica anymore. Logan, why don't you come with us on a double date?
Yeah. Parker pulls him in.
Yeah.
And Mac does not stop her.
No.
This is infuriating and weird, and also the most 18-year-old thing possible for like a group of friends to do this.
Friends who do that in that way specifically with like a Logan, like where you're like, this was a messy breakup and whatnot.
Right.
I lost a lot of respect for Mac.
Yes, Mac, you need to step in.
Mm-hmm. And Parker, who so far the character they have developed for Parker would not do this.
No, she would not break
girl.
Aware.
Yeah, she would not break girl code. She would be like, you know what? You dated Veronica, like this is awkward. Or she would make it very clear that like then you are coming with us because we need a body, but we are not flirting with you, and we are not touching you, and we are not smiling at you because we are mad at you.
Yeah, you were part of this group on probation.
Mm-hmm. We need someone, so here you are.
Yeah, no, not immediately fall into like, hey.
Mm-hmm. It's problematic and it makes me angry.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, why couldn't they have used Wallace?
Yeah, absolutely. Where's Wallace? Where's Piz?
Piz. Ooh.
Anybody.
Yeah.
They don't even mention Piz as like, oh, Piz couldn't do it. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And also, I can understand maybe Mac. This is her. She's got her new boyfriend, Bronson. She's
why can't Bronson bring a friend?
Right.
Or a lab rat. I don't care.
He has an entire club he could have pulled from.
Yeah.
But Mac, she was a lone wolf, more of a lone wolf in high school. So this is probably her first time encountering this sort of stuff and is like not putting her foot down. So I can understand maybe a little bit where she's coming from.
Well, we don't actually know that. We don't know what she was doing in high school.
We
just know that Veronica would come seek her out.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica's our lone wolf. Matt could have had a robust group of friends we just never saw. But it's okay because women are flat, so they don't have characters or friends or arcs. The only people that have like strong friendships are the men in this show.
Yeah, that's true.
Piz and Wallace. You have Logan and Dick.
Mm-hmm.
You have even the way they work on Logan and Duncan's relationship.
Yeah, totally.
But we don't do that with any of the women.
No. Yeah, weird thing to throw in here.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so my righteous anger will continue in just a moment.
Yeah.
Wallace visits Veronica at jail. Veronica's released around the same time while Wallace is there. But Wallace tells her that Mason hasn't been at practice, which is suspicious.
Definitely. We also get a follow-up from the pilot. It's weird that they did this callback for Wallace and the sheriff of him telling Wallace to go see the wizard to get more guts, which is from the pilot. And now we're in season 3. And it's like, oh, have they never had another scene together?
I don't think so.
Yeah, weird.
And Wallace is like, yeah, fuck you, basically.
Yeah, calls him Dorothy or something.
So then Veronica's walking, and a man in a hood comes up and grabs her and goes, "Hey, it's me."
Worst disguise ever.
Yeah. Hi, tall, lanky white boy in a hood. You must be Josh.
That is like the number one. Even if you were not a criminal or a suspected murderer,
she could have tased you.
Right. But walking through these types of neighborhoods immediately with a hood on immediately gets you tagged as suspicious.
So, Josh is like, I need to show you something. And he opens his trunk and shows Veronica that he has Mason in the trunk with his gun.
Yeah. Not only is this bad that you have the wrong person, this is also a hate crime. So, Josh, what are you doing here, bud? And
Veronica checks the gun. She's like, hey, your dad was shot with a .45. This is a .33. Just girly things.
Yeah.
Because she's not like other girls. She can identify guns.
Oh, so cool.
And, Josh would be too dumb to identify a gun, even though the real gun is in his house.
Yes, very much so. He's too dumb to identify a lot.
And she's like, this isn't the gun that shot your dad. She tells Josh to go, and she gets Mason out of the trunk of his own car.
Yeah, who is rightfully pretty fucking pissed.
Yeah. But also, why did he lie about having a gun?
Mason?
Yeah, just because he didn't want to get in trouble for having a gun?
Yeah, probably.
Why does he have a gun at Hearst College?
I don't know why
he
has a gun in general.
What situation did he not... I mean, I guess he was put in a trunk.
That's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, he was proven right. But
no, because the gun didn't do him any good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing here? And it's not like he knows Veronica, so he's just like, who the fuck are you? No, I'm not going to answer your questions about having a gun.
Yeah. So then we cut over to Logan, Parker, Mac, and Bronson. they're at a Valentine's Day scavenger hunt event. And the winner gets backstage passes to like a Valentine's Day party thing.
Yeah. Even more baffling of why they brought Logan on this.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut over to Keith and Veronica. They're talking about the case, what they know. You know, Veronica's like, yeah, Josh was, he's like, honey, why do we have a gun in the freezer? And she's like, you know, just because I like to keep it there.
Yeah, makes a joke about putting someone on ice.
And she's like, yeah, Josh may have approached me. I told the police he made contact. Like, I did all the things. And he asked for like a fake ID. So I offered to help him. I'm not going to, but I offered to help him. It'll just be easier to trap him.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith is like, please don't get yourself arrested again. And he's like, well, I learned that the woman that the coach was potentially having an affair with was also married to a sailor. Right? A Navy man? I don't remember.
Yes. Captain in the military. A sailor.
Who has a Colt 45.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, ooh. We cut back over to our friends who are scavenger hunting. They do funny things like fully clothed posing of the Kama Sutra and how cute. And they take pictures and they send them in. It's just, you know, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm. We'll also get into the logistics of the scavenger hunt that apparently takes like 12 hours to complete.
Yeah, I have never committed to anything for 12 hours.
My God.
Including, but not limited to, a music festival.
I would not stay up for 12 hours to finish this scavenger hunt. I would not stay up all night.
I don't know. No. Veronica is at home watching TV while her friends are out having a scavenger hunt with her ex-boyfriend.
That they did not invite her to, or seem to have checked up on her, how she was doing after getting arrested.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions.
For Veronica, honestly, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's weird. It's no.
Yeah.
And where did Wallace go?
Yep.
Where's he? Is he just studying? Is he not hanging out?
He's back in a motel, I guess.
He and Piz are in their study motel.
Uh-huh.
And then, where's Piz too? He's more fun. I like Piz.
Right.
He's cute.
He wouldn't have done this.
No.
Well, he would have done the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't this weird that this guy's coming along with us? Shut up, Piz.
Yeah, he would have been like, maybe you shouldn't invite Logan. I'll go instead.
Yeah.
Veronica will think it's cool that I did this for her.
Exactly.
That's
not the best of intentions, but yeah.
That's the kind of guy I like. If you're going to try to woo me, you know, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. But
totally.
Logan took that as you got to get with my friends. And that's not what we're about, because he's already in trouble for getting with Madison Sinclair.
Yeah.
So we need to maybe just not get with people, and we need to keep our winkies to ourselves, Logan.
Maybe put down the shovel, Logan.
Yeah, like, what's the point of continuing to dig if you already have destabilized the ground?
Absolutely.
You're just falling through.
Yeah.
It's a black hole.
It is.
It's an oubliette.
Yeah. Ooh, here's another blonde.
Yes.
That's friends with the blonde.
Yeah. So I will continue to bubble with rage for Logan. Veronica's watching TV and realizes that when there is a basketball game,
the Clippers,
the television shows, all the shows get pushed back an hour. So the Deanaling did not get shot at 2:30. He got shot at 3:30, give or take.
Yes, because of when the guy saw Space Ghost.
Exactly. And then we cut back over to this weird scavenger hunt that takes all night, and I continued to feel rage. Literally, my notes are like, I feel so awkward about this. Like, this wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
This wasn't an option for you, and you took it. How?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
who cares?
Who cares? It's a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, just don't do the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Mac, you just want to hook up with your boyfriend. Just go fuck your boyfriend.
And there's no hesitation. from Mac at all on this.
Yeah.
She should be the one because Parker is new to the scenario and Bronson is just like, hey, I'm just here.
Well, or even then it should be like, hey, Parker, make sure you don't flirt with him, and make sure if Logan flirts with you, you smack his nose and put him in his place.
And now she's just like, hey, they're getting along. And especially at the lifeguard tower.
Yes.
When they both go swimming out for, how many balloons were there put out on buoys for the scavenger hunt for the many groups of people that were
I think they were all sent to different lighthouse towers. That's my theory.
And so they have
ones out from each lighthouse
tower. My
tower.
God, how long does this take to set up?
Well, I think most of it just involved them telling them to go places. But yeah, it seems like a fucking nightmare.
Go swim out to these individual buoys. I digress. And then they're both just kind of like...
and it's the beach by Veronica's house.
Right. Oh, we might... Yeah, Veronica might see us like swimming out in our underwear. And then Mac and Bronson are just sitting at the lifeguard tower just being like all kissy.
They make out with their eyes open. Well, Bronson's eyes are open. I caught his eyes being open when he and it's fine. You know what? So, like, you get comfortable with people, you open your eyes because you're like, I'm kissing and I heard a noise or whatever. But like, this is television. Eyes should be closed. Don't act like you've never looked around. You hear the dog start to choke.
I find this being the stipulation for it. You can only do it for one time only. You heard a noise.
Well, or like, I don't know. You're like, I want to, like, if we're moving, you're like, I want to make sure I don't walk into any doors while I'm kissing. But like, you're standing still on the lifeguard tower. Why are your eyes open?
Yeah. Run, Mac.
Well, I don't know.
I know, I'm joking.
Nice. So Parker flirts with Logan to get him to go out to the water with her. Basically, she baits him with her body. Which is also just like rude to me because Parker is not that person. She's not quote that kind of girl.
No.
She is a good friend. She is a good person. She is not the kind of person that would be like, let me get naked with my friend's ex/whatever boyfriend.
Yeah. It's like, it would just be, hey, I'm a good swimmer. I'm going to swim to the lifeguard tower.
Let's go do it. We want to win.
Yeah.
Not, ooh, I'll beat you
Does it really
there.
need both of them? No.
Does
it
it
just gone?
Yeah, couldn't one person have gone?
Yeah.
Also, why didn't they just send Logan? He's the fucking surfer.
Yeah.
And I mean, as we'll see in the movie, he's jacked.
That's not yet, though.
But I'm sure he wouldn't get, like, I would worry that, like, Parker or, like, myself would get swept away.
Yeah, totally.
Like, Logan's, he can ride the currents. Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. As I put, show tries to set up Peter Parker and Logan connection. We don't buy it.
I'm not biting. There is no bait on this.
No.
Makes me angry. So they swim out and they get the balloon. Veronica and Keith are at the sheriff's station. They tell the sheriff that, hey, we realize that it can't be Mindy probably because when the car went out is actually a different time than what time we thought he died because he died at 3:30, not 2:30, and the car was back before 3:30. But then where was the car? Mm-hmm. Where did they go?
Exactly.
So then then Sax is like, hey, sheriff, we got the prints back on the computer. And he's like, do you want me to tell you? And Keith and Veronica are there. And Sheriff Lamb's like being a dick about it. And then he's like, yeah, just tell me. And it was Steve Batondo's fingerprints on the computer, which means he typed the note, maybe.
Yeah. I are dead.
I are dead?
Mm-hmm. That was what's on the note. Goodbye.
I are dead?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. That's not the one I remember.
Oh, never mind. It was I am deceased.
No. So then they're like, we're going to go because they got a call that Steve Batondo, basically someone had broken into Mindy's house.
Yeah.
Mac and co go back and they turn in their balloon. They got third place.
Yep. All this for $25 food gift certificate.
Yeah, at the Neptune Grand.
Yep.
Parker and Logan have some like little flirty goodbye. I vomited in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I put have weird moment.
Bronson's standing over the side and he checks his watch and Mac's like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, well, I realized by the time I get home, I would just have to turn around and come back to campus. And she's like, well, why don't you come take a nap in my room? Mm-hmm. And he's like, are you sure? And it's like, okay. And I was like, what coded language is this? Because like,
yeah, it just going back to her room, but it also the way they shoot like his reaction, it seems like this is like genuinely surprising to him.
Yeah, like that she would want him to come back to her room. And it's like, weren't you in her room with her when this whole thing started?
It's very sweet.
It's very sweet. But it's also funny because he's like, I mean, like, I would never have taken that as like, oh, do you want to go hook up? It's like, yeah, I'd love to go take a nap in your bed.
Thank God we have been up all night. I need to sleep.
Yeah. They go to her room, they bang, and they have sweet little snuggles. They say it that way. Just, using the language of the kids.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where Parker is.
No.
Where is Parker? Is she with Logan?
I don't think so, but I don't know where the hell she is.
I don't know where she is either. She's like taking a shower.
She's like, I'm just going to take a nap in the student center. So this plot line was not the original plot line for Mac for this episode. They were originally planning to have Mac get taken advantage of by a professor. Yeah.
Why?
Thank fucking God we didn't get that.
Why?
Awful. Oh, that it was going to be like taking advantage of her like emotional state after Beaver.
But what about Bronson?
Yeah. Fucked up. It's fucked up. So I'm very glad they did not do that because
I'm glad they even considered it.
I know their first instinct was that, and then they go, "Oh no, something nice should happen to Mac. Something normal, not even nice, just normal."
I just want to like.
Positive is what they used actually. Sorry. Yeah. No. Fucked up.
Once again, maybe you know what? It's time to like stop letting men.
Yeah.
Period. So they go get Steve Batondo.
Yeah. He hadn't broken into.
He hadn't broken in. Yeah. No,
yeah.
That's later. And he's like,
we're minority reporting over here. We're seeing the crime before it happens.
He's brought in for questioning, and he's like, that bitch set me up, and then he's like, I want a lawyer. And then Cliff comes in. He's like, your best free legal help you're gonna get.
And we cheer.
And he's like, fun fact, because you picked him up outside of your county, Lamb, any evidence you pick up today is inadmissible.
Hell yeah. Inadmissible evidence.
Keith goes to visit the affair lady. That's what I wrote.
But Coach's mistress.
She's nobody's property.
No, she isn't.
She's like, hey, I'm actually a doctor. And
the son of a bitch
had a terminal disease, and I was his doctor. And then she breaks privacy laws and tells Keith what was wrong.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if they're privacy laws. Like, I don't know how
they're dead.
HIPAA stands after you're dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then Keith finds out that not only was the coach terminal, but the wife had added additional life insurance policies, and if it was a clean ruled accident, it paid out in double.
Yeah.
And so then Keith goes over to the wife to like talk to her, and she's like, it sounds like you're asking me if my son killed my husband for insurance money. And Keith is like, no, I'm asking if you did. She's like, hold on, let me go get a thing in my house.
Right. I did want to mention, because I looked up, the disease is actually a real degenerative brain disorder. So it leads to like dementia and things.
Mm-hmm. And then she pulls out a gun. And she's like sneaking around the house because she can't find Keith because he left from outside.
Well, this is like interspliced too with Veronica giving Josh the fake ID that he wanted so he can go into
the bank and get his coin collection so that he can take his $10,000 and go to Mexico or whatever.
Right. So like so the setup there on that end is like, we think your mom might have like emptied out the safety deposit box. But she doesn't tell him that. And so it's like intercut with like the mom going to get a gun and him opening up the safety deposit box. She
searches for Keith like with the gun out, and Keith like grabs her and is like, what are you doing? And she's like, I just pulled it out to show you. And it's like, then why are you carrying it? Like, you're a creep.
Yeah, she puts it like
in the like hides in the pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's holstering it like she's gonna fucking kill him.
No, she is for sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind this woman got caught. She's gonna bop Keith, and then
I was just gonna like have you sit down and say, look in the barrel. Do you see anything?
Yeah, I'm baffled. Anyway, she's like, I want to give you this. I hid the gun because it's the gun we have, and I want you to use it to prove that my son didn't do it. Because if you can do the ballistics on it or whatever.
Yeah.
So Keith is like, you know what? I'll bring him the gun. Veronica also finds out, like, hey, the mom didn't steal the money.
Yes. Finds his coin collection.
He finds his coin collection. Everything's still there. And there's a DVD from someone with his dad's writing.
Mm-hmm.
So then Keith is at the sheriff's station bringing in the gun. They get a call at the station that there's a break-in at Mindy's house. So Lamb goes to go, and Keith goes, do you want me to go with you? I've worked with Batondo before. He's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I think me and Sax have it. And Sax is like the fucking worst.
Yeah, Sax is like, yeah.
He's the worst under pressure. There's not been a single scene where Sax has had to like perform, and he has done it well.
No. Mm-mm. He's not actually,
He's not a great deputy.
No, he isn't. He's a good yes man to Lamb, but other than that.
So then
he folds like a table.
He folds like a table. When he's anxious. And I get it. Me too. Like, that's why it's one of the many reasons, why this is not a lifestyle I could have taken.
No.
They sneak through the house, and Batondo beats Lamb over the head with a bat.
Yes. And then Keith comes in and shoots him. So
no, Sax shoots him.
Oh, Sax shoots him, right. And before that, Batondo's alerted to Lamb. The most Lamb thing, like police thing possible, is he turns and sees someone and immediately fires, and it's just a mirror. So then when he rounds the corner, he gets beaten by Batondo, and then Keith runs in, and they get an ambulance over, and Lamb tells
his last line.
Yeah, I smell bread. So I had to look this up. It's apparently a reference to MASH, some minor character death.
Oh.
And so it was like a inside joke in the writer's room.
Got it. I was like, I know, like, when you have a stroke, you smell toast.
No, that's not what this is for. It was a reference to minor character death on MASH.
Got it. I do love MASH, but then we go over to Veronica and Josh, who pull out Veronica's computer. They go sit out in her little courtyard by the pool and the ocean and whatnot. It's a really nice little apartment complex.
Totally.
And they watch the video, and he's like, son, if you're watching this video, you're over 21, which means that the statute of limitations on my insurance policy or whatever is up. So now you can know that no one murdered me. I asked a dear friend to help me do it. It was the assistant coach, because you can see him in the thing, who looks kind of like Josh's build.
Yeah, from behind.
And he's like, we needed to set this up because I didn't want to have to like live with this degenerative disease, and I didn't want you guys to all have to go through it, and so I didn't want to live like this. But if it was ruled a suicide, then your mom wouldn't get the money. So now I was not murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, I was, because I asked my friend to shoot me.
Yeah, I understand the people wanting the. I mean, obviously, it's a big authority issue of people wanting the option to terminate. If degenerative disease and stuff like that. And that's not allowed in California and in many states.
But the insurance policy piece is the hard part to me.
Yeah. And that he doesn't loop his family in on any of it.
Yeah.
So he just leaves them this landmine, which has now led to Josh being suspected of murder and on the run.
Yeah.
So you really fucked up. And it's very funny because this is like in a lineage of at this time when like Breaking Bad's on the air, so it's like I guess boomers or like men of the family that are too proud to tell their families that they're dying of a disease, so choose this like ridiculous way that puts everybody in more danger. In Breaking Bad, it's like, yeah, that's like only part of the point. This guy is actually like a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
That who has like unchecked ego problems. This is I don't know.
Yeah. It's just toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Mixed with like the layer of like a quote unquote necessity for why
totally.
Yeah.
I would never understand the leaving your family in the dark on that.
And that's why I date you.
There you go.
And not Coach Barry.
I am not an animal that needs to go crawl off by themselves and die.
Mm-mm. Nope. We want to watch you.
Yeah, or at least make the rest of the life meaningful. It's gonna suck, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's better than the alternative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's toxic and it's sad. Not that, like, I think there is the right to die is a completely different aspect that I think is important. Totally. And I think if it was like, hey, I would like to, now that I'm having these attacks at X current, like, as quickly as this, like, I would like to end this. Right. And then it's like more hospice situation. Mm-hmm. But,
or like before I completely lose my mind. Mm-hmm. But that's like an informed decision that you would probably loop in your loved ones on.
There's a really good episode of Grace and Frankie about that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a good poll. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I really liked that one. It was really well done. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so then Weevil and his boss are cleaning out the furnace, something like that.
Yes.
Weevil goes inside to sweep it with the chimney sweep. And when he pushes up on the little, what's it called? The thing you open in a fireplace.
Valve?
I feel like it's got a different name.
Okay.
But maybe, sure, we'll call it the valve. Then clothing falls out.
Yes, a bag of clothes.
A paper bag. And Weevil opens it and it's bloody. And he's like, hey, boss, you should see this because I don't want to... throws down.
I don't get paid enough for this kind of trauma.
County commissioner calls Mars Investigations, where Veronica answers the phone. And Keith is sitting at his desk looking very, a little shell-shocked because he just watched Lamb's brain bleed out. And we find out, one, that Lamb died, and two, that they need Keith to step in as interim sheriff.
Oh yeah. And real quick, they show Keith, Veronica showed Keith the tape, and then Josh had run away to Mexico or wherever, out of the country until he can come back.
Until he's 21.
Yeah. It's like, my God, this family. Now his mom is on her own with, his brother.
His autistic brother.
Yeah. So they're just like, The
toxic masculinity is astounding in this family.
Absolutely. But yeah, Lamb is dead, and he dies off screen.
Well, I mean, he kind of died in that scene.
True, but like, what? Mm-hmm. Crazy. Completely surprising, and like seems weird for such a major character to just be like ushered out like that. Mm-hmm. So would you be surprised if the actor, Michael Money, was also surprised that he was dying?
No, I would not be surprised at all.
Uh-huh. He didn't know until he got the script for shooting this episode, which is like 6 weeks before the episode, and was like, yeah. So like all the comments about it, it was like, yeah, I was extremely disappointed, like to see that I was getting shut out. I wish I had more time to say like goodbye to the cast and stuff like that. I don't really understand it. It's kind of weird.
That they didn't even tell him.
Or just like that his character was being sent out like this. It just seems weirdly anticlimactic to just write him off this way. It doesn't really land for me, and then he's now just gone. So I don't know. That part didn't land for me at all. And I also have Star Wars on the brain, so we just watched through the original prequels. Not the original prequels, the prequels. I'm going to really fucking confuse people by using both those terms together. The
prequels to the prequels.
Exactly. Keith becoming sheriff, it's like, makes me think, it's like, yes, the Senate passed their emergency powers, and now we have Keith as sheriff.
There you go.
He has become the Supreme Chancellor, or the Emperor of Neptune.
There you go. And then Veronica's at lunch with Wallace. Because he's her only true friend. That's what I've decided.
Everybody else is like ducking her.
And she sees Logan and Parker having lunch together and being all flirty.
Yeah, that's like the most fucking public space too. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and Wallace is like, "Hey, let's go. Let's not watch this."
No.
And he's like, "Isn't it weird that like Mason just like showed back up the other day and Josh is just gone?"
Yeah,
and Veronica's like, "Yeah, wild."
Yeah.
Oh God, I can just pretend like I'm really scarred by this because I am, but also I'm scarred by my own personal life.
This is a good out for me not having to engage with Mason getting kidnapped and Josh fleeing the country.
Keith, then we get our final scene, and it is Mindy O'Dell being called in to talk to the sheriff, and he's like, he's a sheriff now, so he's like, I told you couldn't shake me. Now tell me why your boyfriend's short was in the furnace. Because it had his it was monogrammed. Yeah, it's like his initials. What is that called?
Stitching.
What is it that white girls do? Monogram.
Ah, there you go.
It's a sorority thing.
Oh, really?
A lot of sorority things, they love monogramming shit. I personally opted out of the monogramming lifestyle because I'm not in the South. It's really big in the South too. And because I wasn't born rich. So I don't care.
Right.
I don't, my name doesn't need to be on my towels.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're going to put my name, put my name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's like the middle one is your first name. I can't remember. Monogramming's weird. Like the order of the letters doesn't make sense.
Oh, I've never had anything monogrammed, so.
We won't.
Yeah,
we will never.
Cool.
It's just not for us,
Yeah.
But yeah, so we know that it's Landry's shirt, and we are like, interesting.
Yeah.
Is he the red herring, or did he do it?
Uh-huh.
Why are they lying?
Yeah, what are you lying? Why are you lying, Mindy?
And I guess we'll find out more next week.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm going to call Mac and tell her she needs to be a better friend.
I was going to say, go and shake Mac and Parker.
Yeah, I'm angry.
What the hell are you doing?
Excuse me. She is your friend.
Been through a lot.
Yeah. Good God.
Oh, boy. Yeah. With all that being said, I did have a fun time with this episode.
Yes. I had righteous anger, which is like always a good feeling.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, goodbye, Lamb. You got shortchanged on your way out.
That's true. Yeah, it'd be more fun to kind of, they did to him a truncated version of what they did to Meg.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just like slowly and you're gone.
Yep. The Meg thing was fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really weird.
The whole thing is odd.
Yeah, to bring her back and then she's comatose and pregnant.
And then dead.
Yeah.
So that's what we learned. That's what we learned. We learned that this was a really odd plot point and it could have been worse.
Yes.
And we learned that men are stupid.
Yes.
And that somehow they think that it's completely normal to go visit your ex in jail and then immediately go try to date her friend.
Yeah. What?
24 hours.
My God.
24 hours. That was like a 24-hour period.
Basically. Between what?
Like when she got out of jail, when that happened, because that was on the same day, and then this next scene, it was a day.
Yeah, awful. She was just in jail.
She wasn't even in jail the whole time.
God.
Yeah. So be good to your friends.
Yeah.
And if you feel like maybe you want to date your friend's ex-boyfriend, don't. There are so many other fish in the sea, and vice versa. If you feel like you want to date your friend's ex-girlfriend, don't. I just feel like, it's just probably not a good move.
Messy.
I mean, maybe if it works for you and your friend group, it works for you and your friend group, but I don't recommend it. Complicated.
Yeah. Or, not doing the, not having them be surprised by the two of you.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, should we plug?
Yep, let's do it.
So when I'm not angry about Veronica Mars,
excuse me, at least publicly.
When I'm privately angry at home, We also have another podcast. It is called But Really Though. Though is spelled THO, and it is a podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we feel like researching. Every week, Brenton and I each pick a topic, we research it, and then we share it. It can be anything from conspiracy theories to urban legends to stuff we didn't learn in history to stuff we were maybe taught in history but we couldn't fucking remember. Yep. Anything and everything we feel like. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's serious. Usually it's somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
That podcast is available wherever you listen to this podcast, and over on YouTube, But Really the Pod. Mm-hmm. While you're on YouTube, you can also check out my YouTube channel. It is But Really Though is still spelled THO. I am a life and career coach, so I post free life and career coaching tips over on my YouTube channel and my blog, butreallythough.com. I also have one-on-one coaching sessions available. If you are interested, you can sign up for a free discovery call at butreallythough.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at butreallythough, and that is at BTRLYTHO.
You can find this podcast on Twitter and Facebook at Mars Rewatch. You can send us an email at marsrewatch@gmail.com.
Yeah, let me know what you think. Did Parker violate girl code?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But
you tell us.
Exactly.
In your own words. Are you as angry as I am? Or maybe not.
Or if you want to figure out or explain to us another adjacent topic of how the hell Logan knew, please let us know. You can also find us doing a Let's Play over on my YouTube channel, Burger Discourse. We were playing through Mutant Year Zero. You can also find other writings about media on my blog, burgerdiscourse.com.
Hieroglyphics as well.
Exactly, yes. It's amazing what you can find in hieroglyphics. And you can find me on Twitter at PyleBrenton. That's PYLEBRENTON.
All right. Stay toasted, marshmallows.